Making a round cake like the top of this baseball cake can be tricky, but here are some tips to help you out. You can buy a round baking pan like this one from Fat Daddios, or you can do what I did. If you have a high quality stainless steel mixing bowl, you can also bake in that as well. I used it because it was a little bit smaller. If you do use stainless steel, you have to decrease your cooking temperature to 220 degrees Fahrenheit and cook for a slightly longer amount of time. Grease the bowl like you normally would with your baking pans before you start baking, and the cake should pop right out. You could bake a top part and a bottom part that are rounded. That would work as well, but I used two regular cake pans for the bottom half of the ball, and I'm just going to carve them using the serrated knife to form the round shape. Since my bowl had a flat bottom, I'm taking the little pieces I'm carving off the bottom and sticking them on the top to fill in that part. And of course, if your cake pan was round, you wouldn't have to do this part. Now I'm adding my American buttercream to crumb coat the cake. You could also use a ganache for this step. You really just want a frosting or ganache that will set and be very firm so that it will hold the round shape of the cake. And here is the biggest, most important tip for achieving a round cake. You want a flexible plastic scraper. I link some for you in my Amazon storefront. I like to think of it as an extension of my hand, so I spread out my fingers and very slowly work my way around the sides of the cake, making sure to go across the top, diagonal, lots of different directions, get down nice and low. Take a look at your cake and make sure it is forming a round shape as you go. When you're happy with the shape, pop it in the fridge to chill. You could then add a final layer of frosting, or for this cake, I'm going to cover it in fondant. When I'm working with a round cake, I roll my fondant thicker than I would on a normal cake because it has to stretch all the way around and then get narrower toward the bottom, which makes it wrinkle a lot more. And if you've worked with fondant before, you know it's a lot easier when it's thicker to get rid of the wrinkles because it has more room to stretch, simply lifting each of the wrinkles and then pressing it back against the cake. Instead of a fondant smoother, I use my hands to get rid of any extra bumps in the fondant, just going around and around the cake. Then I use the end of my brush to press the bottom part of the fondant close against the cake, and then use my fondant cutter as normal to trim off the excess fondant. And that's how I make a round cake. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions on this one or any of my other cakes. Follow for more.